Policy.
We've heard of that.
The Air Force is in charge of contact and technology, and the Army, DHS, and DOE are in charge of security and bases.
That's how the structure works.
This is the structure. And then within those tiers, you have groups. So I wanted to make that very clear in the...
all the while that our guy defines the fact that the community is very small. And when you say very small, you're talking in light of a huge defense budget.
Yeah.
Why do you think the UFO research community has, to a large extent, ignored your story? Why do you think that's happened? Michael Salas reported on your story, hasn't he? Are there others who you have tried to talk to? I mean, for instance, how about the talk shows like Jeff Renson, Coast to Coast? They've ignored you as well?
Oh, you guys, listen, it's been ignored. Let's see, who's not talked to us? Kevin Smith, we did that interview. UK Exopolitics, and you guys, that's it.
Really?
Okay.
And by the way, Carrie and Bill, Shawn and I, listen, we don't want money. We're not asking for that. God knows we need it. I'm not going to lie to you. But we don't want book deals. We don't want lectures. We don't want video sales. And I'm not blaming researchers who need to do this to survive to get the message out. That's not it. But what we want is contact. That's it. End of story. We want contact. And we want to know for sure.
I just want to add one more thing, just to be completely transparent with both of you folks. The last thing Clay and I want to do is introduce any disinformation into the process. That's the last thing. So our motives are genuine and they're honorable. It's a process. If it turned out that the whole thing was a complete fraud and it was one of the great disinformation hoaxes of all time, in our minds at least, Clay and I went into it with the best intentions, and we're only interested in providing honest information for the UFO community in the world. That's our intention, and so we kind of work on that compass.
Sure.
Okay, well, that's good to hear.
Listen, just so you know, guys, we've had outright, and we know our guy. We know his faults. We know his strengths. We know his disadvantages. We've gone head to head on information, and I know. I got to tell you, I know the guy. I know how he's built. Now, I'm not going to say this is. Are you recording this, Carrie or Bill, or not?
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
That's okay. Leave this. It's okay. I just want to know if you're recording. There's somebody else who's walking the walk with us. Okay. I'm going to say I can't say this person's name, but this person we consider above the fray.
Good.
This person is incredibly well respected, and if this person came out and said, "Hey, there is something to this. There is a reality to this. I have checked on certain things. I am walking that walk. I'm continuing to, and hopefully there's a confirmation. It will set the at least the UFO community on its ear, and we are hopeful. And this person knows everything, pretty much everything, about what is going on with our source and is in constant contact with our source.
But all the while stating that we're walking the walk with them, and whatever comes out in the end of all the analysis of this particular person, it is going to be what it is. And just to let you know, we've gone in this with the best intentions. The last thing Clay and I want to do is introduce any more crap into the UFO community.
That's great to hear. And this person that you're talking about, obviously you can't say their name, but what you're saying is that at some point they may be willing to come forward. Is that what you're saying?
Only, and here we go again, only if it's sanctioned, only if the program is ongoing. Guys, I'll give you a good analogy where we're at, guys. It's kind of like what Walter Boart, the late Walter Boart, who wrote about Operation Mind Control. We think the world of Walter's work.
Yes.
But it's like you're captured by the enemy in its name, rank, and serial number, because there's a 3-day tactical phase that has to be adhered to. You don't say anything more, because after 3 days, it doesn't matter what you say, because then the plans can be changed. We are in the 3-day tactical.
Okay, but interestingly enough, you are contacting us and doing an interview with us during that time.
Yeah, but that's what we have.
You requested, you were interested and you wanted to interview us, and Clay and I respect you and Bill's work immensely. We believe that you folks have the most honorable intentions in mind. You're thorough. You ask great questions. You're pretty free to ask those questions that are uncomfortable, and so why not?
Also, there's a lot that we didn't tell you guys that we can't say. Okay?
Yeah.
So, what we told you has been, Shawn and I have written that on Open Minds Forum. There's a couple little anecdotes in there that we have not released, but hey, that's not going to hurt. I know it won't. But what we want to do is try to move it forward, and any way we can, and hopefully we can really move it forward when we have the opportunity or the permission to say more, and that's what we're hoping for. But that's where we're at, guys.
And I just also want to, the people that have helped us along the way, people like Bob Morningstar,
yes.
People like Dr. Michael Sala,
Bob Vanderklok.
These people have been enormously helpful, and Bob has put us in contact with a number of people that have been very valuable. Bob
That's
Morningstar.
great. Yeah.
So this is a process, and I would like nothing more than be able to come back to you guys a year from now, or even 6 months from now, and say, hey guys, I got some really good information that's not out there, and I'd like you guys to get it.
I want to leave you with this thought too, guys. If our guy was a fraud, Maccabee would have exposed him. You know that.
I know that.
Yeah.
But remember, our guy met with Maccabee on his base in uniform and showed his security ID, not a cat card, security ID. And they were with each other. And that's all I'm going to say. But if Maccabee knew our guy was a fraud, he would have said so.
Yep.
And here's the other thing, guys. If we knew our guy was a fraud, this was a hoax, we would tell you guys.
Absolutely, in a heartbeat.
Yep.
Okay.
In a heartbeat, because I don't need my reputation, what little there is, to get damaged.
All we have is our good name, guys. And so it's on the line. Okay.
When we say our reputation, Clay and I have done a lot of research outside of the UFO.
Well, that's our primary. It's not ufology per se. It's everything that's what the Admiral called us conspiracy guys. And he didn't refer to us as ufologists when we were given the mandate. Remember that. So we've met a lot of people outside of the UFO community, and that's our primary research. But we know that the UFO ET phenomenon is a sine qua non to understanding it. It's a glue.
And we certainly tip our hat to both you and Carrie about your knowledge and your involvement. Shoot, you guys have interviewed so many people. Your knowledge is vast. Clay and I respect it. We respect Stephen Greer's knowledge, and that's why it was so exciting to watch Bill, Carrie, and Stephen go at it, because it's a healthy exchange. It's something that needs to happen.
Yeah, and we appreciate that reaction. We really do. I actually have a question that may be backtracking.
And I have a question that's backtracking too, but we're almost energetically about to finish. Go on.
Believe me, I don't want this to end, but I'm exhausted. But can we do 2 more questions, and then I would like to ask you guys something, if possible, okay?
Sure.
But go ahead.
Okay, I just want to know the Gilles Laurent situation, if I pronounce his name right, who was the French guy who was basically asked to leave the meeting. Do you know anything about the politics behind that?
We know. We've been very careful with Michael Sala to stay separate. We only know what we know. We know nothing of Gilles Laurent. We don't know anything about that, Carrie. So we've been very specific not to cross-pollinate that information with ours. So we don't know.
But the only cross-pollination will happen, and Michael has written about this, is that certain diplomats have been threatened down the line.
Our source confirmed that to Michael in person, by the way.
Threatened how?
Intimidated
to keep their mouth shut about the UN process.
And are you saying that Gilles was threatened?
We don't know about.
We don't know. I can simply say that certain people on the diplomatic level have been threatened.
Okay.
Augustus Firestone has talked about his source was threatened. That was confirmed.
Okay. Thank you.
That's okay. So with Guy Laurent, we don't know, guys, but we know what we know, and Guy Laurent and Sala know what they know. So. That's where we're at.
I have a question from about an hour and a half ago, which is a huge one, potentially. And that is, the Anunnaki have not been mentioned. And we're very confident in sources who have told us that they are real major players here and now. And Sitchin seems to have been correct about them with their influence on the Sumerian civilization. I was talking with somebody just a few days ago who was telling me what they look like and how you have to behave when you're with them, and all kinds of stuff. They're here. Can you comment on that, or do you not know anything at all?
We know about Sitchin's work, but in terms of this program, nothing's been said on it.
There's no cross-pollination between this program and the Anunnaki.
Okay. It's, I suppose, just an open question for all of us to ponder. It seems to us that something like this could not take place without the Anunnaki's sanction, because they seem to be major stakeholders in planet Earth in some way that we don't fully understand. And I guess we just have to leave that as an open question, but of course we have to ask it.
Yeah, it's an open question in that there may be indeed knowledge out there connected to our program, but we don't know about it.
Okay.